Yo, what's really good?
What's good, Chief?
You know what I'm saying? Live and direct with the God. You know what I'm saying? You want to introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up? My name's Zil Khalil. I'm from Macon, Georgia. Nah, my name's Imp. Born and raised Atlanta, Georgia. How you doing, Spotty?
Hey, you know what I mean? I'm doing good. You woke up, breathing, alive. So, it's just another opportunity to tap into this hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of hip hop, we here to honor you. You know what I'm saying? You just had a recent drop. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta make some noise for that.
Appreciate it.
But I just wanted to get started, right, and sort of kind of like paint a narrative with who you are, like, you know what I'm saying, like profile the actual artist. So if you don't mind, let's start with that. Like, how did you get to Imp?
Well, you see, I was born with glass bones and patience raised it thin. So I was born down here. Went to like 3 high schools. Started rapping like my freshman year of high school.
Not to tell your age, but like just to contextualize for those watching. You know what I'm saying?
That is telling my age.
Whatever. Like, what year was that?
When I was a freshman.
Yeah.
That was fall 08, spring 09.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that was like precipice.
Yeah.
And like the most recent renaissance we had in the little hip hop space on the mainstream sort of level.
I guess, like, who was popping at the time? Like Gucci Mane, Gorilla Zoe, niggas like that.
But that was right before like Wale, Cool Kids.
That's around the same time because they was on Double XL like oh no, so that was like Charles Hamilton, Wale, Cool Kids,
Charles Hamilton, right? So that's what I'm saying.
Blue,
it's like
Mickey
that,
Jacks, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time to get. But go ahead, continue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there was I'm in one of my classes and there was this annoying ass kid. I can't remember this kid's name to save my fucking life, but he was just rapping out loud in class one day, and he gets to me and just starts basically just starts dissing me out of nowhere, and I'm like, I ain't even do shit. I was like, all right, I don't really want to deal with this. So like at that point I just started like rapping and practicing my freestyles to, like, if that were to ever happen again, I just have some sort of preparedness for that.
Oh,
okay.
So
yeah, so like around that time I was like going to like having like different random battles with people and shit, and at some point during like my sophomore year I changed schools and everything, and niggas wasn't on that same wave, and I was just like, you know what, I'm really not trying to battle. I would like to like write songs and shit and be like the goof ass cornball I am. So
you want to explore the creative side.
Yeah, so I started getting into that, and also like when you battling, like you're either just freestyling or you'll come up with like your writtens ahead of time and bring those in. And those are all like one-offs. Like if Daylight or Disaster or someone had a battle, and then like let's say they go against the same nigga, like maybe next go round of the tournament they use the same shit.
It's not gonna hit the same.
Yeah, you can't do that. But
right.
if you are a performer of some sort, you got records.
You can wear that outfit again.
Yeah.
You don't only have to wear that outfit.
Precisely.
Nah, that's
so,
cool.
Yeah, all those factors combined was like, yeah, I'd rather be a creative and, well, I guess battle rapping is creative, but I'd rather explore that avenue more than battling. But the battling came in handy because like punchlines.
Yeah.
Like, so.
And that's very, it's like critical to the core when you start to talk about like the tenets of a lyricist or an MC, right? Is to be able to have that those kind of tools in your bag. But it's cool that you mentioned that as part of your origin story because, not to spoil it for those listening, but like you can hear that in your music. You know what I'm saying? Like with the way you deliver, you know what I'm saying? Everything is it's almost like thespian, like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like every bar counts, so to speak. Cause I know they talk like that in the battle world, but you emphasize literally every letter in the word. You know what I mean? Which I think is a level of paying attention to detail that's lost. Like a lot of people don't even mumble rap is the wave. You know what I'm saying? Like the more incoherent you can sound, like the better.
I compare that to like food, because like while I'm not just gonna sit up and be like, mumble rap's ass or whatever. Like, people can make enjoyable records like that. Like, I hate to use them as an example, but let's say I wanted to look at like Soulja Boy for an example, right? You can, and you are more than welcome to enjoy.
I love Zen with that lean.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome to enjoy his records, right?
Yeah.
But the substance and depth there is not there. Now, like, to compare that to food, like, how often are you eating like your fruits and veggies?
Word.
Now, think about that. How often are you like going to the store and being like, I just want to eat like candy for my whole meal?
Never.
Precisely. Precisely. Same with music. Like, at least for me, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy like a pop record, a catchy ass record, but that can't be my entire diet. I want things that make me think, things that make me feel things besides just like a short burst of like, okay, this shit made me happy and I'm good for the time being. Nah, I want things that make me think, make me feel, things that feel joy outside of just like a quick hit of dopamine, things that make me feel sad, things that can get me angry.
So you don't get off on like instant gratifications and shit like that. Like, you like to earn everything. You like to go the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's necessary.
Yeah, like a lot of my favorite records are joints that I have to sit down and I might have to listen to it like for like a whole month before it like really clicks with me.
See, and that's like, not to go on like no religious tirade, but it kind of bleeds into that because, you know what I'm saying, they say like in the church, like, faith without works is dead. But it's that type of quote unquote consumerism that I wish people got back to, because like, you experience the work, you sitting with the work, like you're allowing this music, these frequencies to fulfill the context of like your everyday to day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just some background music.
Nah, I don't.
It ain't like some scrolling TikTok dance music, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's cool shit on TikTok. There are niggas who spit on there.
For sure.
But yeah, like, I think one of the things that's like really unfortunate in like modern day social media and whatnot, like, attention span is like dead.
Right.
Like, when it comes to like things, if I'm on TikTok right now and I might see a spitter who might be legitimately dope, but I might get like only like 4 bars of what they do, and it might be the catchiest part of the song, and their next 5-7 videos are all just that one section, just filmed in a different area, or maybe it's just them doing like the selfie thing and just filming it again. And like, at that point, it's like, yeah, I get it. This is your song, and that section is cool. I don't know what the rest of the record is, and even if I don't need the rest of the record to know, should be a thing I should check out, I might not even do it just because it's like, this one section's catchy.
It's like you had your moment.
Yeah.
And that, you know what I'm saying, and every time I'm giving you my attention with this stupid catchy hook, like, this could have been a moment where you did something different to fulfill the rest of the void, the missing shit. You're absolutely right. I think it speaks to convenience. You know what I mean? Because I come from the school of like having to download shit illegally on like LimeWire and
your computer.
You know what I'm saying? Right, like ripping torrents and shit. But it felt good being able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. Like, because at that point, it's not just shit that's catered to you. Because like, we could look at like
curated for you.
Right? Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Like the radio is like that.
Yeah.
But like, I can turn on the radio right now, and if I go to a certain station, I might hear like 5-6 records that all sound not the same, but like I wouldn't be able to differentiate one from the other. Now, I mean, unless it's like a hit song from like Megan or Future or Cardi or something, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like a bunch of cats that I ain't heard of, they might all just sound so similar.
Just bleed into each other.
Facts. But like when it comes to like people who grew up in the Pirate Bay era, LimeWire era, etc., we went out and like found records that weren't necessarily just given to us by our OGs and whatnot.
It was like digital crate digging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
precisely. And
that's what I'm saying. Like even like fan culture today, I think is a lot different than what it used to mean to me, because I feel like we used to be able to kind of grow with the artists because we was fortunate enough to have like the advent of the internet, and it had developed to a point where like we on forums and You know what I'm saying? Having a chance to communicate.
The blog era was a whole thing.
But during that blog era shit, like, I don't remember a whole... And I was a child, but I don't remember a whole lot of entitlement versus now where it's like motherfuckers feel as if they deserve to have, like, these vulnerable aspects of you. You know what I mean?
You know what else is crazy, though? Like, I didn't grow up with, like, Spotify like a lot of kids did. Like, a lot of kids do now, rather. So, like... people will be like, oh yeah, where can I find your music? And they'll be like, oh yeah, your music's cool, but buying a CD, if you go to the venue and buy a CD, the CD can run you between $10 and $15 compared to I'm gonna just go to your Spotify and then after 280 listens, you're gonna get $1. There's no guarantee that person's going to buy it. There's no connection to it. Right. Like if I buy a CD, a cassette tape, or a record, a vinyl, I own that at that point, and I have some sort of attachment to it. Know what I mean, you wouldn't buy merch from an artist that you don't give a shit about, right? Right. Precisely. So it's a sign of showing your appreciation for the artist. They get more bang for their buck when you buy the merch. It's almost like a badge of honor to say, "Oh, this artist right here,
it's a collector's item."
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but streaming is just like, oh yeah, they're on my playlist. You might forget about them next week. Or you might even remember them and be like, oh yeah, you had that one song back in the day and I don't listen to it ever, but I remember it.
Yeah.
But
you get memeified. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the new memorial, is the meme.
I was just not playing, but I was just watching an essay on Metal Gear Solid 2 today, and that's all about memes.
Yeah.
Not in the joke sense, but like the social milieu of like things that repeat kind of way, that kind of meme.
No, I feel that. Just getting back to the gears of the initial convo. So like, you made a distinction at some point in your artistic development to go from, yo, let me make sure I got a verse prepared for the next motherfucker who try to fuck with me, to, yo, so I want to explore the creative side. So walk us through that. Like, what was it like trying to gather your footing?
Crazy.
Making that transition, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's a hell of an adjustment. A lot of battle rap cats can't make songs.
You're right. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm not going to name names because I'm not there's a lot of battle rap cats that I'm like, y'all got some of the craziest pen games and can't make songs. Daylight can make good songs. I will give him that.
A rare exception, though.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
But to answer your question, so when I was basically like, let me figure out how to do this shit, I went online and I was like, okay, people buy beats. I was looking at like the YouTube cats at the time. So they're like, okay, they're buying beats from these cats. And so that's like BeatStars and SoundClick. I'm like, okay, they buying beats. I'm in high school and I'm broke. So I'm like, okay, what's the next option? Getting a DAW. Okay, so I went ahead and copped the demo for FL Studio off of ImageLine site. And I was like, okay, I can save my files and I can't reopen them. Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know anything about going on the high seas for shit. So I went on the high seas for shit, allegedly. Yeah. And I was like, all right, let me figure this shit out. So I started making beats there. I made beats in FL Studio up until like 2019, I want to say. And that's when I swapped over to...
Damn. So you damn near had like a decade with that software.
Yeah, so... That's
cool.
Yeah, and also when going on SoundClick, like all the people that were popular, like the most popular person I could think of at the time was like Johnny Giuliano. And a lot of the records that were on the radio was basically trying to emulate like Young Money, Cash Money type shit. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do. Like the people I like listening to were like Tribe, Lupe, Charles Hamilton, Blue in Exile, cats like that. So none of the things that I could have purchased were like that. So I was like, all right, fuck it, let me learn how to do this shit myself.
That's so real.
Yeah. And so
real that you couldn't find that shit in the stores. Like you could only rip that shit off the internet too.
Yeah.
Like, at the time.
Yeah. So becoming a producer was out of necessity and like out of like what I could get if I did have the cash to just buy shit at my whim. But I think having the dedication to learn how to make shit as well as like being studious to pen game. Both of those inform each other because like if I write something, if I don't make the beat to conform to that, that beat's got to go somewhere else, or I'm gonna have to make a new beat or change how I rhyme.
Yeah.
So all those skills kind of inform one another. If I were to go out and get a beat from someone, I would have to know how to say, hey, this section right here, change those from eighths to sixteenths, or if I'm going into the mix, this is too heavily compressed. Lower your attack, raise your release, shit like that.
What a bit.
But yeah, like having a varied skill set, like all the things kind of inform one another. Like I'm certain I've seen you in the studio. You be making beats and then you're like, all right, it's time to rap. And when I see you go to rap, sometimes you be like, nah, this beat hot, but it's not something I use. So you'll just leave it in your gear until the next motherfucker come around and is like, nah, this shit will work for you. I've seen you. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's important because, and having to do all that shit out of necessity too, you gotta be your executive producer. You gotta be your Rick Rubin, your consumer's ear too. So it's a lot of like sonic ear training you gotta be able to do, and honesty. You know what I'm saying? To be like, yo, like I ain't even gonna say this is some bullshit, but like I say, I ain't gonna force it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where a lot of cats who try to go that route that I've observed with the creating and the producing, like they get real ego heavy to the point where it's just like, man, I don't give a fuck. Ain't nobody touching nothing except me. I'm touching every aspect from the cover art to the mixing, and it's like sometimes you gotta learn when to yield.
Yeah,
too,
I mean,
what
I think there is like some importance in knowing a little
and
bit
knowing
about all
how
these,
knowing how.
Yeah, having a little bit of know-how in all those aspects is very important.
But you pick and choose when to apply.
Precisely, because like I've definitely had points where it's like one of the ways I think about when I'm creating is like, could I do this thing? I could, but let's say I don't feel like it, I don't have the time, or I don't have the know-how at the moment to do a thing. Who would I outsource it to that I know would achieve the thing? Who would achieve my vision, either close to, if not near what? That's the same thing. Who would achieve my vision basically close to what I want, or to the degree that I would want it if I'm not doing it?
Nah, I dig
so that. If I'm doing a music video and I'm like editing it, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing this shit. Who would I call upon? My buddy Zion, Zion. Zion would be like, all right, you're on call. You want to do this shit? Here's the bread for it, and Zion would do it. If I need someone to, I don't outsource my engineering. I'm not gonna flex. Not anymore. Shout out to Daniel Saylor from Sober Addicts. DS was engineering for me for a while, but I ain't outsourcing my engineering. But production, if I'm not doing it, Daniel Saylor, Captain Sensei, you.
I'm about to say, you got a laundry list of like cats. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of cats want to work with me at this point. I'm like, where were y'all 10 years ago?
But that's how time be. Sometimes you gotta let the 3D catch up. You know what I'm saying? To the intentions you set. But
absolutely, you put in the work and people will recognize.
For real, it's crazy because we just vibing, but I gotta keep it pushing. So in reference to that laundry list though, right? Because I want to get on this pros before swine. How the hell did you meet Fendi Pendergrass? You know what I'm saying?
We met in college.
Met in school.
I swear.
Where at? Where'd y'all go?
Georgia State.
Where? Make some noise. Shout out Georgia State.
Nah, fuck Georgia State. But I swear, there was this one day, right? We had this thing called Smirkle. Smirkle doesn't exist anymore, but it was basically like where all the people were smoking cigarettes and possibly
smoking circle. That's like
all the people who were smoking cigarettes would go out there just to chill, chat, and shit. Yeah. So one day I'm out there, this motherfucker out there wearing a suit. It was like, yo, can I get a cigarette? And I'm like, for sure. I'm pretty sure that was him, and both of us didn't connect that till later. So like several months later, I'm out there and someone's just sitting out there blaring hip hop tunes from a speaker. I think he was playing Mobb Deep.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So he's hanging out with all my guys. He's like, hey, what's your name? And we just chop it. He wasn't making beats at the time. He didn't even know how to make beats. So I was like, take this software, do this.
Oh, so this is a little bit of hip hop history. So you were instrumental Is that fair to say?
I caught that.
You was instrumental in Fendi's like introduction to cooking.
Yeah, you can ask him yourself that I taught him. Not like that I teach him everything I know. Fuck.
No, for sure. But you like opened his mind up to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So
that's fat.
But
make some noise for that.
Yeah, but at the time we would just talk about hip hop shit and whatnot, and like he got some sus ass opinions on hip hop. I'll tell you what.
You know,
he won't give Outkast their props. Not saying he dislikes them. He likes Outkast, but he's not giving them their props.
I'm gonna just speak it candidly. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I got love for all my people. You know what I'm saying? So you know, take it lightly. But you know, I reserve this as like a critical like opinion. Like most. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers. Like I can't. Like even. Okay, not to break the fourth wall, nothing, but like even last night when we were sitting out at Cartridge, who was talking about like Mike and you know what I'm saying.
The dude in the white shirt.
He was taller.
Dude in the white shirt. He started rapping while doing the
game. Yeah, he started rapping. He was freestyling.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, so like you know what I'm saying. Just the veracity with which he was giving these opinions, I was like, all right, well, hold up though. You know what I'm saying? Like this is still very much like I don't know. I just get real protective over that culture, you know what I'm saying?
Look, fam, like, while I will not say that people are not allowed to enjoy what we do, this is very much...
You gotta be aware when you a guest in some shit.
Precisely.
You know what I'm saying? Cause
this is our sport.
Just on niggas in general, like, I feel like if we could get anything, we definitely the only group who repeatedly, like, kind of gets, like, shitted on, and, like, we too embracing, like too all embracing.
Oh, you're right. We get shitted on for things that everyone else wants to enjoy.
And I'm not even trying to make this like racial or political, but this is just on some survival shit. You know what I'm saying? And
it's factual.
If you really understand, you would stand in solidarity with the message. You know what I'm saying, and help to maybe further enact a different type of program. Mm-hmm. But regardless, you know what I'm saying. All that to say. Nah, man, I let them have their opinions, but you can't really hold that with no weight, cause like
you ain't grow up with that.
You can't. Right, this can't really speak to you anyway. Like this is still very much like a theory to you, where some motherfuckers, this is very much experiential. You know what I'm saying? To where like there is no hip hop or rapper face. You know what I'm saying? Like I think you even got a bar off the album when you was talking about like you was tagging way before rapping.
I was tagging before I was rapping, marked anything. I was an art student.
That's what I'm saying. So like with the hip hop shit, it's like motherfuckers who's really of the school, who's really studying, and who's really at the elk would understand like this is only a fraction. You know what I'm saying, of the picture. So you gotta stay open. You know what I'm saying, and let the what can I say? The facts be revealed to you by those who are the stewards. You know what I'm saying? Like real recognize real. But not to even get on that, man. Let's talk about this album. Let's talk about this release. Pros Before Swine. What type of headspace was you in making this?
This record took about, I want to say like a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Say word.
Yeah. So like while making this record, it got set on the back burner a lot, because while making this record, I was like knee deep into making Me Cheese It, my last solo release, and I was also working on Loud Pack 2 with my buddy Daniel Saylor.
That's the beat tape, right?
Yeah. So while working on Loud Pack 2 and Me Cheese It, Fendi would this motherfucker, he would send me beats that he had already uploaded to YouTube for sale and be like, hey, I think you fit on this. You want this? And he would just send me like 5, 6, 7 beats that are already up for other niggas to buy in the same day. And I'm like, look, fam, you gotta chill the fuck out. I need time to finish other shit. I need time to like sit and marinate with something just to even see if I'd want it. I can't just make that decision.
Because your process is your process.
Yeah. So he wouldn't get it for the longest. Like I literally had to tell him, shut the fuck up. Let me work.
Enforce that boundary, oh God.
Yeah. Like I ain't want to be rude and nothing, but at the same time, it's like I am one human being. I can't put all my attention everywhere. You try to please everyone, you please no one.
Right. You end up burning out, and now you're not of use.
But when it came time for me to like sit down and like
tap in,
I had a couple beats that I knew I wanted. Like the first record that I wrote and recorded to for the record was Bang Baby
Word?
Yeah, that was the first joint.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said,
So what's that? That's track like what, 4 or 5 on the thing?
I couldn't tell you, fam.
Like that's I know
It's
that
around that range.
you pretty well into the album before you get to Bang Baby.
Yeah, but that was the first joint I did.
That's cool
Like
as hell.
I wrote the hook, and then I wrote the hook, and then I went to my verse, and I was like, all right, what am I gonna talk about? Let me just talk about being out here. So I was a little peeved, just a little bit, and I was like, let me go ahead and channel being mad into this joint a little bit. And
how did the features come about on Bang Baby?
So Lukey Cage. So Fendi met Is at A3C a couple of years back, and told Is about my first solo record. So Is went ahead and checked it out because we both like comic books and shit and whatnot.
Oh, that's dope. So y'all bond on that level.
So one day I'm doing a show and whatnot, and when I was done with the show, I go to my friend's crib to kick it for the night, and I open my my Instagram and I see I got a follow from Lukey Cage. I was like, what? Okay. So he's like, hey. So he's like, yo, boom. I've been peeping the movement. You know what I'm saying? You doing good things. Next year we're gonna do a show together. You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Word.
So
affirmation for your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I was like, hey, appreciate it. Thank you.
Word.
And lo and behold, like a whole year passes. Like I got that message in March, like February or March of 2019, and January 3rd, 2020, we did a show together with Primo Jab and Lean Capital. So we were tapped in. We did that. When it came about for me to record for the record, I was like, yo, you want to hop on this joint? And he was like, yo, boom, I got you.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So when it came to Mondo Slade, I knew him because he has a song with Is called Casey Jones, and shout out to Ninja Turtles. I had followed him just because I fucked with what he was doing. He followed me back, and we checked out each other's music and whatnot. And I met him at a concert. We went to a Bodie James show. Like not.
Y'all seen Bodie?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. We went to see Bodie James.
That's all con creatures.
Yeah, absolutely. Where we at? So I run into him later on talking to Iz. So somewhere on the internet, there's a picture of the three of us plus Primo Jab, Fendi Pendergrass, and a couple of others all hanging out. And when it came time to find a third verse for the joint, Fendi was like, "Get Victor Mariachi," and I'm like, "No, I love Vic, but not on this song. No, let me see if I can get Mondo Slade." Mondo Slade came through.
That's dope. Shouts out Victor Mariachi though. You know
Absolutely, Vic's the homie. I spoke to him a couple of days ago.
Had the pleasure of rocking the set with the brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know, but nah, Victor makes an appearance on the album too. What track is that?
That's a Go Off. That's like the third to last track I want to say.
Mm-hmm. That's toward the end. Nah, but y'all both talking on that, man. Like, I think I was telling you a couple of days ago, like, being able to experience Pro Before Swine, cause I've had the pleasure of playing it back multiple times, and it's like on every listen, just the idea becomes more solidified. Like, yo, okay, so this feels like a piercing of the threshold. You know what I'm saying? This feels like all the work. This feels like a new beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sort of like a new birth. Like maybe when you turn 18. And it's like you kind of like a child again in an adult sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it is really cool being able to experience you in that light. You know what I'm saying? As well as all the co-players that had a part in making the project. But I mean, shit. Even from starting from the first track, Writer's Block. You know what I'm saying? That's basically three songs in one. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because yo. There's not too many times we can get a little care package like that. So what kind of went behind? How did you choose like the sequencing of the album? You know what I'm saying? And like, cause it feels very much thematic. Not to do the whole concept album trope, but you know what I'm saying. It's like there's a consistent theme that you can kind of follow throughout this.
I think all my solo records are concept records, so that might have been like part of it. But when it came to like this album, I did all the sequencing for this album, and Fendi and I were fighting tooth and nail about sequencing.
Really?
He wanted "Fuck What You Heard" to be like, I think he wanted that like right after Bang Baby, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, you're fucking bugging.
Because that as the outro is like the perfect way to end.
He did not want that.
To end the narrative.
Look, he did not want that, and I was like, you are dumb. Like, not to insult my boy, but I insulted my boy. I was like, you're fucking dumb. Hell no. Nah, like
Fendi, we love you, man.
Nah, when I was writing that joint, like I like to come up with mock track lists, and I'll come up with the songs coming out, and then it's like, oh, this title never made it, but I have a song that fits here, and then I'll take time listening to it, and I'm like, let's move that around. And I'm usually pretty solidified on my intro and my outro and everything else between. Part of it is like, is there a line in one song that will translate to the next song? Is there a feeling of like there's too many tracks on here that are slow?
So you kind of like to create and then let the story sort of tell itself.
That's what this one did.
Okay.
Like when it came to like Nichizure, that one was like I guess it's kind of like the same, but also I had a better idea of how things went, because that's like, it's like sort of like a Russian narrative where it's like a series of like vignettes, but with Pearls Before Swine, because it's not like telling a larger story, and it's more like it's basically a bunch of one-off tracks that all went to the same house, right? When it came to that, mood was important, like how things sounded. Mostly it was them.
So you weren't making these songs like, yo, this is for Pearls Before Swine, like it kind of.
Oh, I knew they were all for Pearls Before Swine.
Okay.
Like there's not a single B side that exists for the record.
All right, everything that was on there was.
Everything that's on there is everything that's on there. Like if somewhere midway I was like, this isn't working, it got scrapped.
Okay.
Like entirely.
That's ill. That's ill. Nah, I love this work. Where I'm from. It's so, you know what I'm saying, we in Atlanta, and I think that was a really good sort of like interpretation on what it's like to exist, because like Atlanta, the TV show, like, you know what I'm saying, with Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, like I feel like, heard of it. You know what I'm saying, I feel like that's a good representation, but even that still feel a little too like light, like it still feel a little.
No, that show feel like my life. I'm not gonna hold you.
Dog, I'm telling you though, but where I'm from, like the type of references you got there, like if you was present on the scene just in any sort of capacity, you would be able to resonate on so many levels. Like, talk about that a little bit, like explore about that. What's your thoughts on it?
All the way from Rugrat to Oakland Gargoyle. If you go to Oakland Cemetery, look up at the gates. There's a gargoyle at the top at Oakland Cemetery. All the way to Oakland Gargoyle.
I climbed the top of one of them buildings. I don't know if there's a chapel on there. It's some old crusty ass building. And we was on top of that shit, and it was very dangerous, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
But I think you talk about Waffle House as the respawn point.
Yeah, like, look, when you done with the show, or you done being at some sort of event or something, it's like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Ain't shit open.
Where else you gonna go?
Waffle.
Like, you tired as fuck, you gotta get some energy. Waffle House.
Oh my God.
You wake up in the morning, you got a mean ass hangover, you feel like you about to die.
Yo, what's your go-to meal?
So before the panorama, right? they used to have the dollar menu. So they used to have the small little burgers. I would get like 5, 6 of them bitches and eat them.
Word, now that's balling on a budget.
Look, fam, like $5, you get like 5 mini burgers. That was my shit.
Listen, I remember 2016, dog. I got turned out the Waffle House because you can get you get your little double hash brown, and a little waffle for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You do that shit these days, that's $13.
Yeah.
That's $13.40 plus tax. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's crazy how we living. We need to delete and start over.
I agree, but I went there recently. I got the grilled chicken with the.
You got grilled chicken from Waffle House?
Yeah, you can get a chicken sandwich with a chicken sandwich with bacon on it and hash browns.
You got a lot of faith in like people.
Look, fam.
Post panoramic.
I'm gonna just put it to you like this: you see a nigga smoking a cigarette outside the Waffle House, you gonna be good.
I don't know about that.
I do. I'm from here.
I don't know. You know what? You right.
I'm from here.
I'm gonna let my transplant ass Jersey man. I'm gonna say Jersey man in the building, make some noise, man.
Nah, you see a nigga outside the Waffle House
sleep.
But nah, if you ever had a Waffle House and you see the
not getting no grilled chicken, fuck that.
Hey man, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. If you see the cook outside smoking a cigarette, you gonna be good. I'm so sincere.
They probably be throwing chairs in that location.
I hope so.
That's another affirmation that the food is top notch.
Hell yeah, and nigga getting a fight at the Waffle House. Oh, I know the food banging. And I get a meal and a show?
Hell no.
Shit.
Hell no. Alright, man, so check. So tell me what song this come from, right? Niggas like the wine, where the grapes be at.
I figured all the time I was making sense.
Yeah.
I kept it a buck. There's plenty.
Talk about it. So, like, my question for you is, you know, as someone who is well established, you know what I'm saying, as far as a musician, a creative, someone who pushes the culture forward, like, what are some gripes you got with the current state of things, if any?
The current state of things, we talking just the music scene, or are we talking like
we could talk
politics?
The music scene. We can talk in more broader terms. Like we can go wherever with it. But like, what about niggas whining be pissing you off?
I think choosing my words carefully.
You don't got to. It's really a safe space.
I'm choosing my words carefully.
Cancel culture. You know what I'm saying? We got you.
I think. You know the idiom, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink?
Cheers.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
So to translate that in layman's terms, you tell me if I'm wrong. But basically you saying it's like, it's too much of an exchange of the information and the what to do's, right? But too much of a lack of like, agency and self-motivation on the other nigga part, you know what I'm saying, part.
I wouldn't even say it's a lack of agency and self-motivation. I think it's just sometimes niggas just simply don't care, or they will see information put in front of them and be like, that ain't real. Even if that shit's proven.
Why you think niggas be psyching themselves out like that?
I think people would rather live with a fallacy that they find comforting than experience truth that goes against what they previously thought was true.
What's that quote? It's like, it's harder to tell a fool that they being fooled or some shit. It's something along the lines.
The closest thing I can think of is the cave metaphor. Let's say you live in a cave your whole life, right? All you know is the walls, the roof, ceiling, floor, all that shit. And let's say one day you go outside the cave, you see trees, water, the fucking sun, all that shit. You go back inside the cave and be like, yo, there's this whole thing out here that you've never seen before. And niggas be like, you lying.
Oh, no, that's real. That's real. On some allegory of the cave shit. No, that's real. I think that speaks to a larger concern though, like the lack of like unity and togetherness. You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be like if nothing else, you know what I'm saying, we can at least trust each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like that's very much like an idealized sort of kind of theory at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got like 5 minutes.
43, yeah.
We got like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep and philosophical, but you know what I'm saying? Just closing thoughts and remarks, man. Like, so how do you feel about this release? Like, what peg in the development of Imp is this indicative of? You know what I'm saying? Like, how we moving forward from here?
It's just another rung in the ladder. That's it.
Listen, spoken like a true prolific artist. You know what I'm saying?
You're too kind, Spuddy.
Nah, listen, real recognize real, because, you know what I'm saying, I know the type of shit I be on, and, you know what I'm saying, why I don't be on the shit I used to be on, you know what I'm saying? So, like, for you to continue to carry that shit on, I know what that shit takes, I know what that requires, and, you know, that's the whole reason I even wanted to do this. I just wanted to give you your flowers, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
And be able to have something that you can present that's in accordance and that complements, you know what I'm saying, this drop. You know what I'm saying? This major.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I just want it on record once again. Instead of being inside of a comment or in conversations I've had. You have my favorite verse on the album. Like, no cap.
Hey, listen, man. You know.
These niggas thought that I was buried in the shadows, but thinking that whole scheme leading up to the punchline of I broke my spine because I can't stand being nervous.
Yeah.
That whole scheme leading up to that is fucking brazy as hell, dog. Like, I love that shit.
I appreciate that. And you know what I'm saying? You one of the only type of niggas that could really bring that type of energy out. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, I be having gripes about niggas whining too. So, you know. But
where the grapes at?
Oh, God. But it's very much refreshing when the guys can, like, get together and build and commune. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that gives me hope. And it refills me, restores my optimism a little bit. Because it's real easy to lend toward the cynicism, dog. Like, man. You know what I'm saying? It's very little positive reinforcement out here.
Well, we say in the Sober Addicts Collective, iron sharpens iron. And trust and believe, after hearing that shit, I was like, fuck. Like, the last verse I wrote on the record was Go Off, which is my favorite verse that I gave on the record. And trust and believe, after hearing your verse, I was like, I'm stepping my pen game up.
That's dope. Listen, I mean, look. It's obvious, but just for the sake of, you know, policy, tell the people where they could find the drop. You know what I'm saying?
Go to the uncannyimp.com. That is the uncannyimp.com. You can find me on any social media, or most social media, at the Uncanny Imp, the Uncanny IMP. You could possibly I'm not going to crack that joke, actually. I'm going to keep it PG.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? My nigga got a website. But y'all been tapped in. This freespottie. You know what I'm saying? The uncanny, the astonishing.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll be back at you live. Peace.
Hey, yo, boom!
Yo, make that bug noise.
No.
Make the bug noise.
No.
Nah, do the bug noise. Now you scared to do the bug noise.
Tell me not to do it, and I'll do it.
Don't do the bug noise.
I can't do it no more.
He don't got no spit in his mouth. Pause.
You going to hell.